Richardson.
Hey YouTube, DogRichardson84 here, and welcome to another top 10 video. Now, in the past, people have asked me, are you going to do a top 10 of this, that and the other, one of which was hated links at some point. But two people asked me that, and I said no at first, but then changed my mind. But this brings me to the point of the video. I'm going to be counting down the top 10, top 5 or above videos that I won't do. There are good reasons behind this, so let's just jump in and kick it off. Number 10, top 10 reasons why I won't play the current format anymore. Now, this was something I was thinking about doing for a little while, considering at the time of recording it's been basically a year since I stopped playing current format, even though I have been roped back into doing it a few times, which is really annoying because I just don't want to play that way. But I'm just not sure I will, because I'd be talking about things that I already talked about, a couple of which were in another top 5 or above video that I did, even though it's been almost 2 years ago, which was reasons why I might quit current format, along with the fact that I'm just worried that based on some of those reasons someone might give me shit over it, but I'm just not sure. Although maybe I will do it anyway, but I'm just umming and ahhing about it, hence why it's at number 10. But yeah, if any of you want to see that video, then I'll do it. But otherwise, it's just not going to happen. Number 9, hated troll decks. Now that was something I've never done before. I mean, I've ranted about things like Storly Bird and Storly Deckout decks before, I've talked or rather ranted about OTK and Lockdown decks, but not so much about troll decks. But I'm just not sure about doing this either. Again, this is one that maybe I will do, but I just don't know. Because I basically already ranted about the kinds of troll decks that I hate. Like a Destiny board and Exodia, that's not Exodia FTK or the Millennium version, are basically the only two troll decks that I genuinely do like. Because Exodia is technically a classic boss monster, and Destiny board, well, I think of all the troll decks that are out there, it's just the weakest one, and it is just really fragile. Although it is epic if you are able to pull off the win condition. Yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I'd be repeating myself, I guess. Plus, hated lists can be kind of negative, and I don't know, it's not something I really want to get into anymore. Yeah, that's that. Number 8, a redo of my top 10 hated cards in the game. This was something I did consider, because I did this list back in 2022, but since then 2 of the cards that were on the list got banned first Mystic Mine, then Borrowload Savage Dragon. And I did wonder what could replace them, but the problem is there's like several cards that I just absolutely despise, again, well, I feel like it would be a bit too repetitive, as I'd be going over the 8 that are still there just all over again, and some of these I've talked about several times already, so it's like, well, I don't really want to repeat myself, or at least any more that I have done already. Oh, and look, Bertie's back. Hey, Bertie. So yeah, that's basically that. Number 7, hated monsters in each monster type. Now, I think it was last year where I did do a video talking about my favourite monsters in each type, like favourite spellcaster, warrior, and all that stuff. The thought of doing it for hated ones did cross my mind. I'm not sure I really want to do that, because I feel like with some of the choices I've already talked about before, whereas others aren't really ones that I hate. I mean, for instance, I don't have a hated illusion monster, and I don't really have a hated Cybers, for instance, or even a hated plant, so it would be kind of hard to fill those gaps. That's really the only reason. Number 6, hated OTK decks. Now, yeah, as you know, I just absolutely hate OTK decks, and I've never done a top 5 or above hated OTK list before, but I feel like they'd just be decks that I already went over before, and again, I just feel like I'd be repeating myself, not to mention it's kind of negative, plus I don't deal with these sorts of decks anymore, so really, what's the point going over it? Yeah?
Richard, I need you.
And we are back, basically halfway through now. Number 5, hated lockdown decks. Again, for the same reason as hated OTK decks. I feel like I would have already gone over these sorts of decks already, like especially in my 6-part series of top hated decks of all time. Again, I just feel like I'd basically be repeating myself again, plus again, hated videos are kind of negative, and I don't really want to go down that route again, because I've basically covered everything really, so that would be that. Number 4, top 5 or above arch nemesis decks. Something I kind of thought about after I did do the top 15 arch nemesis monster cards, but I don't really see the point of covering decks that would be considered an arch nemesis, you know, like Gladiator Beasts, Endymion, Monarchs, because, well, like I said before, I've already basically covered those in the list of hated decks. So again, I just feel like I'd be repeating myself, plus I kind of have a feeling that someone will probably just take offence and take it personally. Something that just annoys me whenever I rant about a card or a deck that I hate. There'll be someone who just takes it personally and thinks that I have a problem with them, but that's not true at all. just because I hate a card or a deck that you play doesn't mean I have a problem with you specifically. So yeah, that's another reason why I won't do a top 5 or above list on that. Number 3, favourite banned cards. Now, I did do this video before, almost 11 years ago. Oh well. Oh well. I thought about redoing it, considering the original video is lost, but honestly I don't see much point for a number of reasons, because, well, there's not a lot of banned cards that I really like and would consider a favourite, whereas there were a lot more back in 2014. I mean, we had things like Dark Magician of Chaos and Stratos and Cyberjar banned, but since then these cards will have been unbanned. So with this being the case, there's not even enough favourite banned cards to even cover a top 5, let alone a top 10. I would say what they were, but I feel like I would have covered these in other top favourite videos that I did in the past, whether it was on this channel or the Team Sorcerers channel. Plus, I feel like someone might start an argument with me over these, even though I wouldn't even be saying that I want these cards unbanned. You know? And on a similar subject, this brings me to number 2, hated banned cards. And yeah, there are quite a lot of banned cards that I do hate and don't want to come back, like, ever. Hell, there's even been cards that were banned which I either hate or don't necessarily hate but think it's a bad idea. Those sorts of cards did get unbanned, but that's another story. Oh yeah, I forgot that this and the other one would basically be redos. Yeah, this was one that I did think about, but I decided against it because, well, banned card discussions can get quite controversial, and you know, they can even get out of hand, like where it just comes from disagreements to full-blown arguments, where people are just throwing insults at each other. Plus, in the past, I feel like there have been times where I've expressed an opinion on certain ban list changes, and then someone gave me shit over it, even to a point where it made me feel like I'm just not allowed to have an opinion. It was just so annoying. That's basically why I hate discussions about banned cards, and why I've basically banned it from my Q&A segment, and why I don't do ban list predictions videos or ban list wish list videos, or even proper, you know, ban list analysis videos, you know, in case this shit happens again. I'll still do reaction videos purely because you guys enjoy those, but that's as far as it goes, really. Yeah, I feel like, again, it would be one of those things that can just cause arguments, and as I've said already, I'm just fed up of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arguments of any kind. So yeah, that's basically it. And finally, in at number 1, hated hand traps. yeah, debates about hand traps can get quite controversial. Now, I did do a list for my top 6 favourite hand traps, so, you know, obviously that means that I don't hate all hand traps. You know, there are some that I genuinely like, some I don't have an opinion on, and others that I just hate with a passion. Again, this was something I thought about, but I decided against it. It was, well, I don't feel like, well, actually, there probably are enough to at least cover a top 5, because there are 5 in particular that I absolutely hate with a burning passion, and I've basically quit normal tournaments and the current format partially because of them. But I don't feel I should do a top 5 or above list on them. In fact, like 2 or 3 of these I've covered in other top 5 or above videos that I did. So again, I just feel like I'd be repeating myself, and again, I feel like it would be one of those things that would just cause arguments. You know, again, like I said a few moments ago, I'm sick and tired of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arguments of any kind. It's enough to just wear anyone down, and it's just something that puts a negative spin on the game. You know, along with the fact that ever since I quit current format and the minor league, I've not had to put up with them anymore. So, you know, there's just really no reason to cover them. And yeah, that basically sums it up. Those are the top 10, top 5 or above lists that I won't do. But yeah, like I said, maybe I will cover the top 10 one, you know, top 10 reasons why I won't play current format anymore. But again, I'm just not sure about that. Other than that, I'm just not going to do any of those lists. So yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Dark Richard